Alright guys, we're going to continue on the hornbow project. I'm going to steam these. I'm going to only steam the fat ends because you don't really need to flatten this bit. They were in the milk for about 2.5 weeks. Really you should leave them in there for a month. But I'm not going to flatten them just using milk, I'm going to steam them. And I'll show you guys how to do that. So I'm going to wait until this thing starts steaming a little bit, and then I'll leave it in there for 10 minutes, and then I'll take it out, and it's going to be really fast. So alright guys, well, it looks like I'm going to have to do it in stages. So I got the ends opened up a little bit. Much flatter than they were. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these ridges down. Not too much, because, you know, keep in mind the final dimensions of the bow. It's not going to be very wide at all. It's going to be thin, streamlined, very fast. And you want to focus on the part just after where you flattened it, because I'm having trouble getting this bit here flattened because it just won't do it. The end was easy, so what I'm going to do is start at the end and work my way up and flatten it, you know, and by the time you get like halfway down, you're not going to be able to flatten it much anymore. So then you'll know you're done. Don't clamp it all the way down, because that'll induce splitting, cracking on the back, which is the inside, and the outside's going to be the belly. This side's going to have sinew, this side's going to be polished. So that's basically it for now. I'll show you what I do with this file here. Alright, after some smelly filing, I got this bit all the way from here, where the end of my flattening session is, all the way to here. I took it down a little bit so it'll be easier for me to flatten. So we'll get to that later, but I want to explain to you guys exactly what I mean by flattening. You're not going to get all of the curve out of it, and in fact you don't want to do that, because if you flatten them too much, it'll split. You'll get little cracks inside the horn, and you don't want that. So yeah, I basically made it thinner this way, so I'll have an easier time getting it straight and flat. And really, we're only going to be able to flatten it probably up to there. This is as far as I'm gonna flatten it, and the rest of the bow is going to be thinner. So all we're going to have to do is take down the sides until we get to the bottom of that, and we'll make the back flat for our sinew. It's going to be a very narrow limb, but I'm going to put so much sinew on this thing that it's going to be a powerhouse. So yeah, I hope it works out. If I'm going to ruin this, it's going to be during this stage right here. This is the hardest part of making a horn bow, is getting the horn prepared. You know, I did so much cussing and swearing today just during the first straightening session. I didn't even film it. So I'm gonna get this steamed up, and we'll do the second stage of flattening this, and I'll see you guys then. Alright, this is my setup. A board, a flat piece of metal. I'm using a carpenter square. And I have a one clamp for the end to straighten it, and 3 or 4 for the end. So what I got here that right there. The only part that you really need flat is probably going to be the end, because they're going to be spliced in the middle on sort of a riser block handle thing. So that's going to be a joint, a glue joint right here, so I want that flat. But the rest, we're going to be able to take down and make it flat just by scraping away at it. So, you know, only up to here really will you be able to bend it by steam. So let that cool completely, and never ever ever leave horn to steam for more than 10 minutes at a time, because if you overdo it, you will make it so brittle and you'll hate yourself for it because you spent $40 on horn. But I'm gonna do this one next, and I'm gonna file it down some more, make it flatter and flatter, and when I get to a certain point, I'm gonna put away the file and use a sanding block. Alright, this is what I use to steam. Tin foil, very important to keep the heat in, and I sort of formed it around the horn, the end of the horn, to make a spout so I can efficiently heat the most horn possible. And then I have it resting on an insulator inside, because you don't want the end to be inside the water, you want it raised above the water, and that's important. So don't forget that. Do not put, like even for wood, when you're recurving the ends of self bows, never set the end of the bow inside the water. Always have it resting on top of something. Hey guys, I'm getting pretty close with this piece here. I still have the other one to do. But I gave up on the file, and now I'm using this card scraper. And I am just going down this entire thing, and I'm being very, very careful to not go past the inside of this horn. And the reason for that is I want to retain as much horn as possible, so, you know, because we're going to tiller this horn before we put the sinew on. So, yeah, it's important not to go past that inner ring. And another thing is well, yeah, that's it for now, really, actually. So I'm just going to continue along this, scraping down until I get a perfectly flat back on this piece. And you know, it takes off some pretty damn good scrapings. It's almost like a snakeskin. And this card scraper actually makes faster work of it than the file, I think, so I'm just going to stick with this and file it first to make it flat so you don't get checks. But yeah, just you know, take it slow, really slow, because if you're paying for horn, you don't want to mess up on it, so take it slow, definitely. And you know, that goes for any kind of project, really. If you take your time and have that eye for detail, you'll end up with a much better result. So there you go, guys. This concludes the second part, and we'll pick back up on this for the third stage of flattening, which is going to produce our gluing joint, and it's also going to let us straighten this so we get it perfectly straight. Hey guys, I ran into an issue where the end of the horn was too thin, so it was actually bending more than the rest of the horn. So I chopped it down. It is now 21 1/2 inches, And I'm gonna I'm gonna have to do the same to the other one because they have to be equal in length. But this is it. It's surfaced. This is the back, and I sanded where the joint's gonna be, so that is perfectly flat and level. And that's what you want. And the same on the tip here. This is perfectly flat and level because I sanded it. And I'll show you guys what I did. All I did was put sandpaper on the floor and just like that. And that'll give you a perfectly flat surface for gluing. Really, you don't have to flatten your horn if you're gonna go this small. The only reason I went this small is because the horn I had was too thin on the end, so if you get lucky, you can make it as long as you want. And if you have it longer, you're gonna have to flatten it, but if you keep it this short, really all you have to do is cut the horn in half, steam it, or let it soak in milk for a month, and then straighten it, and you're pretty much done. You just have to surface it. So really I made it too complicated, but if you guys want to make a longer one, at least you know how to flatten it. So yeah, that's it. Another thing you want to do right now is to sand the belly, the rounded part, and get rid of all the flaws. Because if you do that after you tiller it, you're gonna mess up your tiller. So, you can even polish this right now if you want. And that's probably the best thing to do, because when we tiller it, we're gonna be taking material off of this right here with the scraper. So go ahead and polish up your horn, get it nice, get it ready, and I'll see you guys soon with the next few steps.